Yeah, we're good. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, nothing at all, bad about you having your child with you. It shows we are family.
Yeah, she picked today to go make a run.
All right, we are live. Welcome to all those coming to see about the Rattlers of Florida A&M University. We do greet you on behalf of the FAMU family on the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee, Florida, the capital of Florida. And we want to kick things off this afternoon for students, parents, counselors, and community leaders and mentors that are with us. I want to kick things off with an informative video about what's happening on the Hill down in Florida. So sit on the edge of your seats.
Can we get a little sound on that?
We will we'll come back and show the video and again in a few minutes as no sound was coming through at first there, but to give you some basic information about Florida A&M University, we are for the 5th year in a row the #1 public historically Black college and university in the United States of America. That's out of 107 HBCUs. About half of them are private institutions. We are one of the half of the public institutions, Florida A&M, and we are now have been heralded again as the #1 public HBCU in the nation. We also hold several other distinctions. We are #2 in graduating HBCU STEM majors, your science, technology, engineering, and math. And we are the #2 best engineering program in the state of Florida, along with other accolades that we'll talk about in a few minutes. We are assuming that most of the students that are gathered will be first time in college freshmen, class of high school class of 2023. And when you hit the Hill next fall, we are looking for students that preferably have a 3.3 or higher grade point average from high school. We start talking to students if they have a 3.0 or higher grade point average. We admitted over 1,400 students into Florida A&M University 1 month ago, who have started as first time in college freshmen, and they had collectively a 3.91 GPA, a 3.91. So when you're talking about coming to one of the top schools in America and the top public HBCU, we're looking for the best and the brightest, starting with that GPA. Again, with 3.3 or higher is who we are looking for next fall. We have over 10,000 students at Florida A&M. North Carolina A&T State University has beat us out for the 3rd year in a row as having the most undergraduate students. But if you count all of our graduate programs, 10,000 is about the same as NC A&T. We do have a law school in Orlando that is off-site, which has a number of students also. But we boast that we have about 10,000 students at FAMU. That GPA that I mentioned is on a 4.0 scale, and we have that 4.0 scale must be in the core academic areas. So depending upon what your school credits are at your high school, and we do have a video being queued up, depending on what your core credits are at your high school, we do a tabulation of your 18 core units and determine what your GPA is from there. So you have a slide in front of you, and I will just go ahead and walk us through this particular slide. You see some of the accolades that I mentioned that we are very proud of. When you talk about social mobility, number 13 in the nation, highest ranked public HBCU, and that's social mobility, and that is changing the status of life of those that come into Florida A&M, graduate, and go off into corporate or the world of work or corporate America. So you can look at those, and we will have an opportunity for you to give us your information also during this this time period. You can reach us on the mobile app, FAMU, and some do pronounce it FAMU, but it is pronounced FAMU, Florida A&M University, down in Tallahassee, Florida. So we'd love for you to follow us on social media, whichever media you are connected on, and get connected with FAMU. You go to famu.edu and you will learn all about us. So the formation of our university, we're 134 years old. Here you see some of the founders. And yes, Thomas Gibbs, Jonathan Gibbs, Thomas DeSale Tucker, some of our early presidents of Florida A&M University. Again, we sit in Tallahassee, Florida, the capital of Florida. Here you may recognize some of the celebrities on the screen here. You have Kimberly Godwin to your far left, who is in charge of ABC News. You have Common, the actor. You have the recent mayor of Atlanta, Georgia, Keisha Lance Bottoms. You have John Thompson, chair of Microsoft. You have, I see Will Packer. Help me out with my one in the stole, the doctor in the stole. But all of these are celebrities, all graduates. Who is that?
So she's Dr. Robinson. Her first name escaped me. She married one of my college mates, but she was
Nice.
one of the first Black women to graduate with her doctorate from MIT.
Yes.
And then a lot of her research has been used in some of the coursework for future studies at the university.
All right. She was one of, I think, one of the first graduates in our environmental science program, or the science program that Dr. Robinson, our president, started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we do have star power, and that's just, 4 or 5 of our distinguished alumni from Florida A&M University, one of America's top colleges, heralded all the time by Forbes magazine. And there you're looking at an aerial view of our beautiful campus, and we'll get into some of the buildings on campus a little further down in this slideshow also. We do have 14 colleges and schools, 56 bachelor degree programs, 29 masters, 3 professional degrees, and 12 doctoral degrees. And for those high school students among us, you have in college, you have the opportunity to have a major and a minor. Your average 4-year program is going to be 120 credit hours to get your bachelor's degree. Some of our bachelor's degrees are 5-year programs. You have the opportunity to get a master's degree, which is a year or 2 more after you get your bachelor's degree. And then your professional degrees and your doctoral degrees, your terminal degrees. So those are our 14 colleges and schools. Now here's an example of some of the majors that we have at Florida A&M. In the School of Architecture and Engineering Technology, you see the bachelor's degrees, which you would be vying for coming right out of high school. You have the master's degree programs right after your bachelor's degree in the School of Architecture and Engineering Technology. And then in our next school, we have the College of Agricultural and Food Sciences. And you may see what you want to major in. Of course, your major is what you're going to study the most in college, and you will spend some time studying to get your minor, if you have a minor. And so that's not how many, it's how many credits you get from each of those, the major and the minor. It's not how long you stay in the classroom specifically, but you see the bachelor's degrees that are offered, master's degrees. And then here in our College of Education, you can get a bachelor's degree in these areas. A lot of students are interested in choral music. We do have scholarships in those areas. If you want to teach anything in the music area, and then you have your primary, secondary education degrees. In those areas, you can get a master's degree in educational leadership and a doctorate degree, a terminal degree in educational leadership from our College of Education. Then we move to our College of Engineering. A lot of folks are interested in engineering, and you see the different bachelor's degrees we offer in engineering. Most of those are 5-year programs. And then you have your master's degrees, and you have your doctorate, your terminal degrees. You will notice down at the bottom of the College of Engineering that our engineering program is joint with Florida State University. So you would get your degree from Florida State, from FAMU and Florida A&M University. I'm sorry, FAMU and Florida State University through our College of Engineering in Tallahassee, Florida. We have our College of Law. I mentioned it just a little bit ago. Sits down in Orlando, Florida. So if you know that you want to go to law school, you may want to consider our 3+3 law program, which means you spend 3 years as an undergrad, getting up to 90 credit hours of college, and then you'd be admitted. You still have to take the LSAT, the admissions test, law school admissions test, but you'd be able to get your law degree within a 6-year period from our law school, which is accredited down in Orlando, Florida. Now we look at our College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Of course, all of the sciences and pharmacy are, are growing programs now as we're just coming out of the pandemic. So our bachelor's degree in pharmaceutical sciences there. We do have master's degrees, and Master of Public Health is online now. So if there's anyone that already has their bachelor's degree and is looking for an online master's degree, our MPH is very popular. And then our doctorate degree, and you also can become what they call a PharmD at FAMU, and that's a 6-year program. So that's College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. From there, we go to the College of Social Sciences, Arts, and Humanities. I actually came out of this particular program where I majored in political science and minored in public administration. So you have the master's degrees there, and that is our College of Social Sciences, Arts, and Humanities. And I might say there, if we just stay there 1 minute, we do have a lot of folks that are into drama. That would be where you would get your Bachelor of Fine Arts if you want to be on the stage, as is depicted in the picture there. And then also your music majors, your music industry majors. If you want to go into music production, that's where you would get your degree from the College of Social Sciences, Arts, and Humanities. From there, we look at our College of Science and Technology. And all those who want to go into the medical field, here's where you would get your foundation in college at Florida A&M by picking up one of these bachelor's degrees that are mentioned. And also inside it, you see the computer technology, computer science, information technology, which is, highly rated and a lot of jobs out there in the computer science field. Actuary sciences, that's for those that are interested in mathematics and statistics, to become an actuary. If you don't know what that is, look that up. And then your physics, and these are, again, the folks that go through our College of Science and Technology are the people who intend to go into the medical field, to be a doctor of some sort. And then you see the doctorate degree there. And from there, we move to our School of Business and Industry. We call it SBI, School of Business and Industry. Has all of your business areas, your accounting, your economics, your business administration, facilities management, and then your MBA, which is very popular at FAMU. Also your Master's of Business Administration. We do have an opportunity for, if you qualify, to get into our 5-year program. And so you would come out with your bachelor's degree in a business field and your MBA within the same 5-year stint at Florida A&M. That's our School of Business and Industry. From there, we have the School of the Environment, environmental science, environmental studies. You can get a master's degree and a doctoral degree in that field in our School of Environment. And environment is very, very lucrative as far as a field to go into after you come out of college. So that's our School of the Environment. From there, we look at the School of Journalism and Graphic Communication, which I know that one of our hosts, Chantel, came out of.
Yes.
And that's affectionately called our J School. And so we have the areas of journalism, public relations, graphic design. We do have our own studios, our own radio station at FAMU, our own newspaper, our own magazine publication. And so these are anytime you're talking about information getting out to the people in the world, this is where you would want to study and get your expertise and your degree in the School of Journalism and Graphic Communication. From there, we moved to our School of Nursing. I read something within the last 2 weeks said that nursing is one of the fields that that has the most shortage of professionals in it across the United States, particularly. So we have our nursing bachelor's degrees. You can get your BSN, and you can get your master's degree in nursing at FAMU. Of course, like some of the other fields such as pharmacy, law, you would, in order to be qualified to practice, you would have to take an additional state or national test. And so with nursing, that is the case. You have to take the national exam. And our School of Nursing continues to score over 92% first time in taking the exam in the state of Florida. So School of Nursing is a great field to be in also. From there, our School of Allied Health and Sciences, Allied Health Sciences. So we do have your bachelor's degrees, your master's degree, and your doctorate degrees. One doctorate degree in physical therapy through the School of Allied Health and Sciences. And that rounds out our 13 or our 14 colleges and schools. The Reserve Officer Training Corps is an opportunity for you to serve the country being in the armed forces. We do have Navy and Army ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps at FAMU. You can, if you're a Naval ROTC, you can be commissioned as a Marine Corps officer also. And we have a crosstown partnership with Florida State University. If you are interested in the Air Force program, you can go to FAMU and take your classes in Air Force ROTC across town. The Army ROTC is a great organization that will help pay for your college. And if you are a contracted cadet, you would have a term of service, either reserve, which is part-time, or active duty for 4 years once you depart the service. But they have programs that can help you pay for your college education. And it's the greatest leadership program out there. So that's our Reserve Officer Training Corps. Student life. I know a lot of students are interested in student life, certainly more than 100 active student clubs and organizations. We have all of the Divine Nine fraternities and sororities active at Florida A&M. We have a number of service fraternities and sororities. We have a number of professional fraternities and sororities at FAMU. We have dance, a number of dance organizations. And if there is a student club or organization that you do not see once you arrive on the Hill, you can follow the necessary requirements to apply to have that as a student club or organization.
Mr. Shannon,
yes, ma'am.
Can I jump in on that?
Certainly.
Talk about the student life. So, hello everyone. I am Chantel Black. I am the current New York Alumni Chapter President and a fall 2009 graduate. And I just wanted to talk about like student life real quick in regards to, especially being New Yorkers. There's students from all over that are watching for HBCU night. And the beauty of FAMU is that there's multiple different, especially state organizations catered towards, where you're from. Like the Detroit Club is very popular, California Club. We also have the New Tri-State Club, which is comprised of students from New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, but the DC Metro Club. So there's definitely your home away from home and that kind of organization, in those kind of organizations. Yes, we have the Divine Nine, but there's also Greek letter service organizations that you can join. And then there's also things like I was in the modeling troupe, Faces Modeling Troupe, that's still in existence. But, you know, yes, it's a modeling troupe, but we still did community service, and we just did different things to help with body and image positivity as well. And if there is an organization that you are interested in that does not exist, then yes, you would go to student activities and get an advisor, which would be, you know, a professor or faculty member at the school, and they can help you create your own organization, as well as like the cafe. I got a lot of good food that we didn't have. I mean, the cafeteria is always great. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so it's Chicken Wing Wednesday. But you have Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, Wingstop, Tropical Smoothie. So you have some really good places to eat in the caf. When you can't get into the school cafeteria upstairs, you can still get something to eat without having to leave campus. So that's very important as a freshman, that, you know, you may not be allowed to have a car, but there are also a lot of resources that you can have to get on campus to, you know, to get what you need. Okay, that's all I got right for that.
No doubt about it. And what she didn't say is, students, you need to, as soon as you can, go to your YouTube and look up Set Fridays at FAMU, SET, FAMU Set Fridays, and you'll see some of the social life at Florida A&M. But you can't spend too much time on what we call the set, or else you may put yourself in jeopardy of graduating. So now we go to the athletics. We are Division I AA in our sports. We're in the SWAC, which is the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And you see the sports that we have at Florida A&M: baseball, basketball for men and women, bowling, cross country for men and women, track and field for men and women, football, volleyball, tennis for men and women, and then softball for women, and then golf. So these are the NCAA sponsored sports. We also have extraordinary intramural sports teams at FAMU. And our softball team, well, that's one of the NCAA sports. Our women's flag football has been a national champion over the last 15 years, probably about 6 times. And that's an intramural sport. So those are our athletics. From there, let's talk a little bit about student housing. We have 2 brand new housing facilities on campus. Both of them house anywhere from 700 to 800 students. The one that you see here is the FAMU Towers. And I think I have that right, called the FAMU Towers. This opened up about 2 years ago. And then our FAMU Village opened up about 3 years ago. So excellent housing, living and learning communities. What those are is, you may, if you're in a certain major, you may live in a suite style apartment with someone of your same major who's studying the same program that you're studying at FAMU. But excellent opportunities. Our freshmen all have first opportunity to live on campus. And we encourage that you live on campus your first year at a minimum at Florida A&M. The traditional style dormitories are the ones that are mentioned there in the bottom: Young Hall, Truth, Gibbs Hall. The Pattyfoot complex is no longer there. They just removed Pattyfoot. Sampson Hall is still active also. That's our student housing. Let's talk about resources. Um, FAMU graduates are literally all over the world. Being one of the largest HBCUs, you won't have to go far in corporate America or in any industry to find someone who has been to Florida A&M University. So our Career Center is not unlike the Counseling and Career Center that you have at the high school level or at the community college level. If you're at a junior college right now, they help place you and help you learn about opportunities for you to get internships and to expand your horizons after college. Our Center for Disability and Resources offers numerous programs in accommodations. So if there's anyone with an IEP, that IEP can transfer to college also. So we, have professionals and have programs that will receive you no matter what your academic ability is, if you meet our basic requirements at FAMU. So those are just a couple of the resources. International programs, we encourage all students to get their passport while they are a student at Florida A&M University, and it's not uncommon for many students each semester to be studying on an internship or in a foreign country outside the continental United States. So we do have a number of international programs, not only in the summer, but in the fall and the spring, a student may be in a program in another country. We also have partnerships with other colleges and universities across America and outside of America that we have programs, exchange programs with. So you will have an opportunity to travel. And like Chantel mentioned, many students are in the Northeast or in New York, New Jersey that may be on this particular college fair call. And we encourage travel, and you'll be confident in traveling as a student from Florida A&M University. Let's talk a little bit about the requirements. These admission requirements are steadily rising. You heard me say in the beginning of the slideshow that 3.3 is preferred as far as your weighted GPA. We do start talking to students if you have a 3.0 or above. You must have these 18 core academic courses from high school. Note the 2 years of foreign language, and note the 4 years of particularly mathematics and English. So some students, have the opportunity to opt out of that 4th year of mathematics as they go, into finishing high school. So if you're a junior, don't shy away from that 4th year of math in order to be qualified to go to Florida A&M. We are not test optional. Some colleges are test optional and some became test optional during the pandemic, but you must take an SAT or an ACT test to seek admissions to Florida A&M. And we take what they call sub-scores, and you see the sub-scores there in the area. Now, hear me and hear me well. If you are a junior in high school, in order to be considered in the National Merit Semifinalist or Finalist Scholarship Pool, you must take the PSAT the 3rd week of October during your junior year. You must take the PSAT the 3rd week of October in your junior year of high school in order to be considered for the scholarship programs under the National Merit Semifinalist and Finalist program. And so that opens up a whole world of scholarship opportunities to you. If you already are a senior and you you are not able to take the PSAT, hopefully you've already taken at least one SAT or ACT. Now, the good thing about the sub scores is you can take the SAT or ACT, and you should take it multiple times. Now, these are the minimum scores that you see before you. But let's say you took it the first time and you got a 24 in reading, and you took it this past June as you headed into your senior year. When you take the SAT again and receive a 27 or 28, then that 27 or 28 takes precedent over the 24 as your sub score. So you can take the SAT and ACT as many times as it takes to get the score that you would like to be qualified to come to Florida A&M. A 500-word essay is required, and there are essay questions once you get to that level in the application process. You do have to have 2 letters of recommendation. So you should be, if you are a senior or if you're an underclassman in high school, you should be looking around for who might say great and wonderful things about you and present you as the best and brightest to our admissions department. Your high school transcripts, when you take the SAT or ACT, you'll have a code where you can put down the FAMU code for your scores to go right to FAMU. I know that some people are waiting on scores right now, and some people have the SAT or ACT coming up. So you must have those tests under your belt, as we are not test optional. $35 is the application fee, or we do accept fee waivers. If you go to your counseling, your high school counseling and career department, they may have a fee waiver that you can submit through our admissions office. Scholarship opportunities. This is actually last year's profile. There is a brand new profile that just came out this past month for the 23-24 school year, but most of the requirements are the same. Most of the requirements are the same. Priority deadline you see in red, there's October 15th. So it's coming up very soon for those who intend to be on the yard, we call it, on Florida A&M's university's campus next fall. So October 15th, so you need to get with it. There are scholarship opportunities in your particular major. When we talked about the colleges and schools, the 14 colleges and schools, each of those also have scholarship opportunities. And there's 2 ways to get to college. Either you pay the college to come, or they pay you to come. So again, we're looking for the best of students out there in America and beyond. And we are paying, it's very competitive. We are paying people to come to Florida A&M if you are the cream of the crop. Alumni-based scholarships, the Long Island chapter of the Florida A&M University alumni and the New York City chapter and chapters around the country do have alumni-based scholarships. We have scholarships from the FAMU Foundation, and then we also have out-of-state fee waivers for certain majors that you might be in. So all of this will be shared with you when you go to famu.edu and start looking at the criteria to be qualified to come to Florida A&M. And then we talked about the ROTC scholarships. Ignite is a program, if there's anybody online, particularly from the state of Florida, that's a transfer program for students in junior colleges and community colleges in the state of Florida, the Ignite program. So we want you to consider coming to strike with us. And we will now open up the floor for questions and answers. I think we have somebody monitoring the chat. Yes, sir.
Yeah, can I say one thing?
Sure.
This is Kimani Foreman. I graduated in 2000 from FAMU. I was born and raised in New York, and I went to school there directly from high school to Florida A&M. It was an absolute change of scenery and a shocking change of scenery, but believe me, it's worth it. It's not that far away. And, you know, just when you get to FAMU is a school that brings, you know, people from all over the country. And you could really, you know, find your niche there. And, you know, being from New York, wherever we go, if you go out of town from New York, it's gonna always be weak because nothing's New York. But just recognize and understand that the experience you're getting at the HBCU, especially FAMU, is bar none. Sorry about my daughter. I just wanted to make that comment.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So again, I don't know if there may have been some students that might have had questions in the chat.
I've
Chantel?
been watching the chat, and it does not seem to be anybody asking any questions.
Okay.
So but I also think that this is going to be used, like he's recording it so that it can be used and given to, like, you're on the West Coast. So even you, Mr. Shannon, you can have this link afterwards to show it to students on the West Coast and myself over here in the mountain region, and share it that way. Because yeah, as of right now, we don't have any active people asking any questions, but we covered a lot so that students watching the replay of this can literally, you know, pause it, take notes, and of information that they need. I would say, like, right now, we're, as the New York chapter, we're working on our scholarship. But there are other websites, like the HBCU Hub.org is a website that also helps with giving out, helping students to get scholarships, as well as through HBC Unite, helping students to get scholarships. And yeah, there's a lot of different organizations. Just if students looking outside the box, will be able to find scholarships, whether it's, you know, if you're a left hand, if you're a first generation American born student, then you can get one. I know certain organizations from different countries, they also give scholarships to first generation American high school students going to college. So there's different resources in which understanding a lot of students are not necessarily living in Florida to get the in-state tuition. So trying to pay for out of state can be challenging, and we try to help as much as we can in giving the tools and the resources. And then once you become a student, you can also apply for new scholarships during your sophomore, junior, senior year, as well as once you start to establish, you know, get your own place, rent out a place in Florida, then they have a process in place for you to apply to become an in-state student, and then you can also start to pay in-state tuition, which would definitely help with the cost. And I know we talked about the Reserve Officers Training Corps, but then, you know, there's also joining the military in terms of in the Reserve or the National Guard, and then they also pay, you would get in-state tuition. And you will also get tuition assistance, where they will pay up to $4,500 per semester for 4-year schooling.
Yep. So we want you at Florida A&M. FAM is nothing without you. And we thank you for tuning in today and for learning a little bit about Florida A&M. Please go to famu.edu just as soon as you can. And for our students that are interested in that social scene, go to FAMU Set Fridays. We want to see you at Florida A&M University. And go Rattlers. Thank you, Kamani. Thank you, Chantel. And thank you to HBC Unite for hosting this opportunity for us.